It's quite late at night and I'm parked right next to the A34. That's what the bleeding road is on the right. There you go. Now there's vehicles travelling both ways. I'm in a lay-by and you can see the red lights. So I'm in the back of the van. I'm on the way up to see my grandchildren for the weekend, or a long weekend kind of, which I'm very excited about. Can't wait. So I'm going up a night early, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I thought I'd stop and have a bit of my cheese and ham and pickle sandwich. Lovely, lovely that was. And a nice cup of coffee, which I might be able to show you actually. It's down here, look. Okay, sorry for taking you away from the road there, but there's a cup of coffee there. And back to the road. I'm sat here, having a cup of coffee, smoking a cigarette, kind of. It's an Epiphany Plus. I've registered these as a trademark, I'm afraid, so it's an Epiphany Plus. So there's a bit of a, I don't know, an addition to it. But I was sat here and the red lights are going away from us and the white lights on the other side of the road, they're coming towards us, aren't they? Well, there you go. So, like I was saying earlier, it's entirely possible, I think, that there's a machine somewhere to be able to tell you, or tell me if I wanted to know, how fast that car was going. And it would do that by working out the red shift on the lights. So how much the light was receding over time, and it could calculate how fast that was happening and tell you what the speed of that vehicle was. It's quite amazing, really. That's what more or less how the radar thing works when the police on the side of the road get you. But the cars coming the other way have got white lights, because obviously they're the headlights from the front. So I'm sat here, smoking my Epiphany Plus, with my cup of coffee, wondering that this phenomenon of the red lights being able to tell us how fast they were moving, because they use that on astrology or cosmology. In fact, today it's just been announced that Comet ISON didn't make it. It doesn't look like it made it through its close approach to the sun, because they were hoping they was going to squeeze through. Because if it did squeeze through, in a couple of days, about an hour, 3/4 of an hour before the sunrise, in the eastern sky, we'd have been able to see a comet with a tail that would have pretty much covered the whole sky. What a fantastic sight that might be. I mean, it might still be there. They think it might have made it, but it's not looking good. Comet ISON is been dismantled by the sun, mainly because there's so much gravity there that this ball of this comet that's going, the near side of the ball to the sun, is being pulled by the sun but quite a lot more than the other side of the comet that's furthest away from the sun of the ball, if you know what I mean. Okay, the other side of the ball that's furthest away from the sun, it's not been pulled so much by the old gravity thing, you know. But so it probably pulled it apart. That's why they pull apart and stuff. And the other interesting thing about that, because our sun and this comet, our sun is obviously a star. Okay, now the starlight, quite interesting, isn't it? Because you think people think maybe that the sun's basically yellow, because it does look yellow, doesn't it, when it goes down over the horizon and all that thing. Well, it's not. It's white. Okay, that's why snow is white. I mean, if the sun was yellow, then snow would be yellow, just because that'd be the way that the light works. There's no intrinsic makeup to snow, for example, because I use snow as an example, I suppose. There isn't. It just goes there, you know. But our sun is a white star, and basically, I live in Britain, but whether you live in England or Britain or whether you live in America, it's red, white and blue. That's the colours, isn't it? Red, white and blue. Oh, here comes the old red, white and blue. Well, that's the thing, just remember that, and that's the thing with stars. So the coldest stars are red. They give off the least heat. The medium stars, in terms of heat, and consequently light, I suppose, are white stars. and the blue stars are the hottest ones. I think it was Wedgwood, the guy who does the crockery, you know, Wedgwood crockery that you can get. It was him who discovered this correlation between different colours and how hot things were, when he used to put his pots and cups and saucers into the kiln to fire them, you know, to be ready so they would take them out and take them and be glazed. But because Wedgwood was obviously a very high quality piece of kit in terms of you know, a cup or saucer, Wedgwood's good stuff, isn't it? Because Mr. Wedgwood took great care in doing that, and by taking great care, and most people of his kind of intellect, I guess, would try it out and come up with an idea of why something's doing what it's doing, and then testing to see if their idea was right. Well, in fact, I think the first thing that they might do is test and try and think of an easy way to prove them wrong. So whatever their idea might be, and oh, well, as the plates and cups and saucers get hotter, they change colour. So it starts off being white, it starts off with red, white and blue. So it starts off red, then it turns white hot, and then it turns blue hot. That was Mr. Wedgwood. But that's the thing with stars as well. It's the same thing with stars. Isn't that good, eh? Oh, I like all that. And I'm thinking about all this. It's got something to do while I'm sat next to the A34 on the way up to see my grandchildren, having a spliff, you know. And I've got some red wine left, but I'm not going to have any of that yet, because this is not where I'm going to spend the night. I'm going to go somewhere, but I've got a couple of ideas actually. So there's a couple of nice places to park up, so I'm going to go and check out, and they should probably be completely free, and it'll just be me there. So as long as that's the case, I'll park up there. And so when I do, I'll get the red wine out and have a couple of red wines, and obviously I won't be driving after I've done that. So wherever I am there, if the red wine comes out or goes down, that's where I'll stay that night, you know. Oh, it's a big lorry coming to the way now, with white lights on. Don't forget, that's medium brightness. And, you know, if it was a blue light, that would be much more hot, like a star. But we'd have blue snow. So hot stars would have blue snow. If we were circling a hot star, snow would be blue. How cool would that be, eh? The blue's quite an interesting colour, I found out, because it reflects light. So the blue part of the light gets refracted more easily than the other, like red, you know, your reds and your greens. So like your old TV with your RGB TV, you've got 3 bulbs. Remember those big old TV screens where they used to have 3 bulbs that sort of shining up, great big bulby things. Light bulbs, too. They were red, green and blue. RGB. Anyway, so I've finished my spliff. So I'm going to have another sip of my coffee and sit here for maybe 5-10 minutes. Have a think about the stars. In fact, I might even put on. I've got some interesting dialogue on an MP3 from Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's one of my favourite kind of cosmology type jappies, or he's an astrophysicist, I guess. Anyway, so I'm rabbiting now, so I'll go off. But I don't know, you might not be interested in this, but this is what it's like living off the grid. You just drive wherever you want to drive, and I don't know where I'll end up tonight. I can't wait, but it'll be somewhere I've not possibly, and no, tonight will definitely be somewhere I've not stayed overnight before. It's not always like that. I mean, sometimes I've got places on certain routes that I travel that are kind of my places that I would probably stop, you know, and look forward to getting there and thinking, oh, I'll go over that way tonight and stay at so-and-so, you know. But my favourite places, I guess, west, so like northwest of the southern tip of Wales, near up there. I'm not going to say where, but as one of my favourites. And down by Padstow, I've got my own private cove down by Padstow in Cornwall that I'd go to. But obviously it's not like on the way. So I suppose if I was on the way to go to France via the sea, in fact it might say that on Google, I think, go to Cornwall and then swim to get to France, you know. I think that's actually what it says. Anyway, I'm going to go now, and thank you ever so much for listening, and I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's going to be fabulous seeing my grandlets, my gorgeous 3 grandsons and my beautiful, beautiful granddaughter. Oh, can't wait to see them all. Anyway, good night then. Here comes a white light, so I'll try and get a bit of both in the screen as I turn off. Here we go, there's a bit of white and red. Good night.